going to move very quickly to the next panel. I want to welcome Tom Bucklar from Caterpillar. He's Director of Innovation and Digital at Caterpillar. Welcome him up. Mike Docherty is author of Collective Disruption: How Corporations and Startups Can Co-Create Transformative New Businesses. Please welcome him. And I also want to welcome our next panelist, but I've got some special things that I want to say about his company. First of all, please welcome Jake Carnemark, CEO of Aligned Energy. And rather than just read the intro, why don't you just tell me a little bit about Aligned Energy, Jacob, because you're really working in collaborative relationships to develop interesting and technologically appropriate outcomes in the energy industry. What is Aligned Energy?
So we're founded, myself being one of the founders and other founders here in the room today, we all came out of building large infrastructure for large portfolio companies, mostly in the data center space. And after working in that space for 25 years, really came to the conclusion that infrastructure is kind of that last unoptimized supply chain. There's no feedback loop that makes buildings better. Very, very slow to innovate. The data center space specifically, 30% of data center infrastructure is used, but we're building it more and more and more. So very, very wasteful. So we set out to found the company around one goal, which is helping large companies, cloud companies, banks, financial institutions to align their use of energy and infrastructure to business objectives and do more with less. So
to basically take the advanced importance of data centers and to apply the same kind of technology for energy efficiency and infrastructure efficiency that is represented by what the data centers do. On the front end, data centers are great, but on the back end, on the infrastructure side, they're not so great, and that's what Aligned Energy is all about.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, welcome these three panelists. Let's begin with a video that'll give us a sense of what Caterpillar's up to, and then we'll hear from Tom.
We live in an age of smart, an age of smartphones, smart appliances, and smart homes, an age where connected devices are improving lives and revolutionizing work. From job sites to generators to machines of all sizes, this is the age where iron flexes its intelligence, where the machinery that enriches lives, powers businesses, and builds communities is given the connectivity to be even safer, more efficient, and more productive. This is the age where our industry evolves, the age where job sites become their own networks, where entire fleets speak the same language, and where work gets done faster with fewer setbacks. This is the new era of smart, and CAT is built for it. Welcome to the age of smart iron.
Well, John, I appreciate the ability to do a little bit of marketing. But actually, that was Bauma is the world's largest construction trade show, and what that shows is Caterpillar just launched a complete new initiative in the digital space. And I'm going to put it a little bit in the context of innovation and also collaboration with the startups. But if you look at it, Caterpillar's been innovating for over 90 years. And like any innovation driven, it's been very customer centric. Everyone in this room and everyone in the booths that we talk to, and it all starts with really trying to understand a problem, understand a customer and industry, and trying to solve that problem. And we like to say we're one of the first startups in Silicon Valley because 90 years ago, someone was on a dirt field and was looking at a tractor and said, the weather, we can't keep this thing out there long enough, the traction, the ground pressure. And someone said, what if you just put some metal tracks around those wheels and tried to figure out how to make this work in all types of weather and all conditions. And then someone came out, looked at that little track, and so that kind of looks like a Caterpillar. And so from that perspective, we've been innovating around that for a long time. And as any startup, you start with an idea and it becomes a product or a service. And for us, it was machines and it went to engines, and those became our products or services. And then if you're really successful with the products and services, you can start to develop a brand and really a relationship with customers and what you stand for as a company. But the challenge, and this is where it gets tricky, is as you start to get a portfolio of products and services, your business model starts to revolve around that. Your innovation starts to revolve around that. And all of a sudden, your innovation might not be trying to solve the customer's biggest problem. It might be trying to solve their biggest problem through the lens of your products and services. And so this is where we kind of take a step back. And for Caterpillar, fortunately, we've been with a company that's been keeping the customer really at the center of that discussion. And that's really what's led to our digital strategy. So what you're seeing here is kind of a launch point for our digital strategy. And I'm going to get a little bit of water. But essentially, we have this convergence, right? So we started to work with customers, and we've got this convergence of all of this mobile technology, all of this data that's out there, analytics, all of these things are starting to converge. And so for us, this felt like the right time to really kind of launch forward and push this as one of the company's largest initiatives. And we've been at it for a while. If we look at it, we probably have about 3 million engines and machines out there operating in the world today. We've got about 400,000 of those connected. And those 400,000 machines are sending somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 billion electronic records annually. We're doing the blood work on it, the fluid analysis. And the fluid analysis is another 5 million samples. And then we've got inspections, hundreds of thousands of inspections coming in electronic format, bringing all of that into this database so we can start to crunch and do analytics on it. So a lot of the stuff that your company does is stuff that we need now. We've got plenty of data. We've got more data on our on our industries and how our machines operate than quite frankly we know what to do with right now. So we're really starting to focus on how do we go from trying to solve customers' problems to leveraging the data and the analytics to be able to predict those problems. And that's really at the core of our digital strategy. We want to basically make our machines smarter. We want to make our engines smarter. And then we want to get our customers, the people operating those machines, the data they need to make their job sites more productive, more efficient, and ultimately safer. And if we can kind of meet that promise, then we've done what we're trying to do, which is make our customers more successful. So, that's kind of where our digital strategy is. And the other point to it is we're not doing it alone. I mean, we know that we've got a partner. And the really neat thing is when it's around our equipment, we tend to do it internally and work internally and trying to incrementally improve our equipment and productivity and horsepower and emissions. But in the digital world, it's why we get involved in things like Edison. Because, man, there's a lot of energy in startups all over the world that are trying to solve our industry's problems, and we want to be part of that discussion. So that's one of the reasons we're here is how do we partner more with startups that are looking at how to leverage data and analytics and information and mobile technology to help solve problems for industries, not just consumers. So it's a big part of why we're here. We also partner with leading companies in technology. So Trimble Navigation and others that have also areas that can help make our customers more productive. We'll work with them to try and build solutions for our customers. So we're excited to be here. I think it's a really good tie-in with respect to large companies working with startups and also the big data side.